Hi everyone. So this is a quick tutorial on how to use Social Explorer. So the key thing here we want to do is in the lab assignment for the week, you will find that you need to use the Social Explorer that's the professional license through CWI. If you don't use that, then you are not going to have the amount of variables that's in the free version. So make sure you log in, and you can do that through the lab assignment just by clicking on this. Hold down the control key on a PC and then click on that, and here it'll take us to the CWI library, and notice here where it says Social Explorer, click on that, and now we're there. So now if you've already created your account, we can just either hit sign up, but I already have an account, so I will click on log in. Remembers all my good stuff. So here's our home page, and you know once you've created your account and you're logged in, you'll have your initials up here. It'll also say professional license provided by College of Western Idaho, and we'll click on Start Now. So here it opens up, and it opens up to population density, and we're looking at the states. So this is kind of the default look. You can kind of hover over with your mouse and you can see population density per square mile. Go to Idaho, 19.8 people per square mile, and we can go over to someplace like New Jersey, and there's 1,212 people per square mile. So depending on how much you like people or don't like people, it can tell you where you might want to live. So let's go in here and kind of play around with some of the data. So if we go up to here, we can select Change Data. And these are all the different variables that are available. And you can select by different years and so forth. As you'll notice, like for example, arrests, they have for 2014, but they don't have it for 2015 or 16. So when you're doing your assignment, make sure you collect all your data variables for the same year. So don't collect some for 2016, some for 2011, because they could be measured differently. So we'll stick with 2016. And I'll just go through this and kind of show you kind of quickly. So we can select, let's say we want to select income, and here they are. So household income, so less than 10,000, less than 15,000. Some here more than 10,000, so it's going to give you a range from 10,000 up to probably 14,999. But let's just select less than 40,000. And here we can look at less than 40,000. Not very interesting. So let's do this. Let's go, since the area that we're going to be working in is Spokane, we can type in Spokane, and we want to select place. So we can zoom to Spokane. We can click on this here, and it gets rid of that. So we can kind of see here, for example, households less than 40,000 a year. 80% of the population makes less than 40,000. Go to something lighter. Only 16.87% of the population makes less than $40,000 a year. So we can have this, we can look at these different variables. We can also go back and change these. We want to see that make, let's find out people who make more than 150,000. And there we go, a little different. So these people here make 21% make more than 150,000 a year. 0% of the population here in this census tract makes 150,000 or more. So let's see. So we have these variables, and so let's say we want to save this, because this is kind of interesting that we want to. We can click this little button here, and we can save current variable selection. So we saved that. Then we can go here and we can change the data. And let's say we go back categories, and we did income, we can do sex, and total population, 5-year estimates. We usually want to use 5-year estimates as opposed to 1-year estimates. So 5-year estimates, let's just choose female. And here we have total female population, and we can hover over there. So here, 54.6% of the population is female. Way over here, 29%. Here 60%. So as you can see in this choropleth map, the darker the color, the greater the population percentage of females. The lighter the color, the less. And that's kind of shown right up here in this as well. So, and as you can see, we're showing the data by census tract levels. It's on automatic on. If you turn this, you can change it to different things. We're also showing it by shaded area. Some of these work by bubbles. You can see bubbles, not as informative. One of these shaded areas. So now let's say we wanted to look at our last variable. You can also look at this here. Females, you can open up the data dictionary. If you open up this data dictionary, it's going to tell you all about this variable, how it's collected, what it's about, and so forth. So that's very helpful. It's important to know your data. So then let's say we want to look at females and the, what was it, income less than 150,000, I think it was. We can click on this little button here, and it gives us options. So we can look at these variables as a single, as we are now, side by side, or a swipe. Let's just look at side by side. Right now they're the same, total population, but let's change this one. Click this drop down, in households more than 150,000. So we can do that. And then if we click on this little, we can move this, but notice not both maps don't move, but we want them to move together. We can click on that, and we can see. So interesting, you know, we can kind of see, is there any kind of correlation where there's high household incomes and high percentage of female population? Not off the top of my head do I see that. So here we are, and it's kind of nice that it shows up. We can see total population for this census tract is 3,946 people. Total population of females is 2,042, 51%. Households, there's 1,618 households. Households that are more than $150,000, 0. So, and it's highlighted in the other map too. You kind of notice as I highlight them, they're showing up in the other map on the right-hand side. So if you want to ungroup those, you can just click on that. You can also click here and swipe. So we can show this kind of way. If you want to kind of compare things, this is kind of a popular way. Just slide back and forth. And then we can go to single, or we can go side by side again. It's the same variable. We can change that back. We kind of lost that one because I didn't save it. That's the reason why, because we only saved one variable. I didn't save the other variable. That's why we're there. We can save this. So we can give it a name if we had both variables, and click and save, and it'll be saved in your under your name. So if you want to go back to these maps, you can go back to the maps. You can export these out. Which map do you want to export, the right or the left? Sometimes you'll maybe just have one frame. We can go back to that and do single, since we only have household. Export. It's going to kind of give you this range of where you want to export it out. You can change these aspect ratio, free, normal, landscape, format, image, PNG, so forth. Then you can export it out, and it might take some time, and it just opened it up there, and there's my map. And that makes it very nice and simple, because then you can include these into your write-up as well. So just get rid of that. Go away. So that's basically how you kind of change these variables. You can give these different titles if you want up here. Households, more than that. You can cancel that. You can understand more about the data variables. If you open up the dictionary, you can change this. You can type in different geographies of areas. So if you put in Boise or Meridian or whatnot, but since this assignment is just for Spokane, we can do that. You can make tours. So we don't want to do that. So skip, and we can make tours. So play around with this. So there's lots and lots of different features that you can create: reports, map layers, annotate the map, so you can add markers. So there's lots and lots of functionality within Social Explorer using the professional version through the CWI library, the link that we started at the very beginning. So that's how you use it. Play around.